Wander Wealthy Podcast, episode 253. Welcome back, my friend, to another episode of the Wander Wealthy Podcast and a very happy new year. If you happen to be tuning in during the week that this episode is released, we have just kicked off the year 2022, and this is the year we're going to make some changes and do big things and take big leaps and trust ourselves. And I am super excited to be doing that and supporting you along the way. So thank you for being here. Thank you for making another trip around the sun with me. And this is actually technically the podcast's sixth birthday? 2016 to 2022. Holy moly. Wander Wealthy has turned 6 years old. That is amazing. Anyway, for those of you who are brand new here and first hearing my voice, hi, welcome. This is a show for new aspiring and seasoned money coaches looking for inspiration, motivation, insight, and just a place to learn about building your money coaching business, scaling it up, being a better coach, being more comfortable with marketing, all of the things that are involved in making your business go round. And my name is Tess Wicks. I am the host of this show, founder of Wander Wealthy, and business coach who also has been and has built my own money coaching business and continues to offer money coaching services to my few lucky clients in that arena. And we are here now to talk about this week something that might make you scratch your head and go, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I'm going to share and kind of break down why I believe that turning your passion into a business can be bad advice. Intriguing, Now, before we dive into this topic, I want to take a moment to shout out today's episode sponsor, which is Wander Wealthy. Yes, it's still my business, but I just want to take a moment to let you know that no matter where you're at in your business or what level of investment you feel capable and ready to make, we have something for you over at wonderwealthypodcast.com. If you go to the Work With Me tab and check out my resource library, I have a bunch of things, not only a list of the different tools that I use within my business, but also the tools that I have created for you. We have a free guide that takes you through the step-by-step structure of a successful money coaching session. And it's actually 3 different sessions depending on where you're at in that client relationship. We have the pricing formula to help you properly price your coaching program or packages. And of course, we have the client attraction content matrix. If you're feeling stuck on content marketing, creating that content, and you feel like there's not really any strategy behind it and you're not really sure how to apply strategy to it, this is the program for you. So all 3 of those things are available at wonderwealthypodcast.com/resources. And like I said, I'm also linking to a ton of other tools that I use within my business that I use to help me coach my money coaching clients and so much more. So go check it out. Even like all of my podcasting tools are linked up there. So you're going to get an inside scoop. But of course, you have access to all the programs that you can dive into at various investment levels to get a little slice of my best stuff that I've created for you. So wonderwealthypodcast.com/resources is where I've brought it all together. All right, let's move on to this topic that I think so many people feel at odds with, right? I'm telling you that you might not want to turn your passion into a business when in fact, I think most of us hear this rhetoric, or we've even said it, right? I just want to do something that I'm passionate about. I just want to, turn my passion, turn the thing that I love to do into a business. Now, I'm not telling you to not love what you do, but I do want to have a discussion around where turning your passion or putting the pressure on the work that you do for money and making it need to be your passion or making your passion need to be the work that you do for money, where that can become kind of an unhealthy area, if you will. So before we dig into that, let me just offer you a suggestion. Okay. This is just, something you can do, take it or leave it, depending on how you feel about this entire topic. But my suggestion is to replace, turning your passion into your business with building a business where you can follow your fascination. Okay. Now hear me out. Following my fascination, that's kind of been a motto for me personally, throughout probably my life. And for whatever reason, I've still messed up. I've still done things where I was trying to force something, but I always come back to like, what am I really intrigued by? What am I really interested in building a business around? And it's around doing something that fascinates me, but not necessarily something that I feel is my passion. Although, yes, I've gotten into that rut before. So let's break this down. Building a business is all about solving problems, right? You're solving problems for the client or the customer. And sure, there are some businesses that exist to create new problems or to just be available. Maybe it's not directly solving a problem, but I would say a majority of businesses aim to solve problems. That's why there is value in the exchange of goods or services. And that is why people pay for that thing, because they're solving problems. I would probably argue that even, what people might think of as the most frivolous businesses are still solving some sort of problem that they've identified with their end user. And so therefore, although I think sometimes these can create more problems or new problems, they're still somehow solving a problem. Okay. But especially in the world of service-based businesses, typically we're really focused on solving kind of the human's everyday problems. And obviously in money coaching, that's what you would be doing. But even if you're not interested in money coaching, which I don't know why you'd be listening to this podcast, but let's just say that's the case. If you're looking to build a coaching business, look to solve a problem or come up with a solution that fascinates you. Serve a niche market, the type of people with the type of problems that fascinate you. But also know that sometimes you have to take your heart out of the matter, okay? Because you can be fascinated by a problem or fascinated by a market and fascinated in the way of how you're going to solve this problem. And that might not be your passion in life. And I want to say this, that's okay. You're allowed to have a business that you're not like, pulling your soul out of your body for, right? And I think so many people have kind of made this rhetoric the norm of like, my business is my passion. I don't work a day in my life. I am, so passionate about what I do that for those of us who are kind of like, I also have other passions, and my business is something that I really love to do. Like I'm very intrigued by it. I'm very fascinated by the problem that I solve, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's like my number one passion. It's okay. And also, putting that pressure on your business to be your passion, but then also putting the pressure on kind of the other way to go about this of having a passion and then being like, how can I monetize this? How can I turn this into a business? Again, that becomes unhealthy. Okay. Forcing your passion to make money ends up being soul sucking. And the rhetoric around monetizing everything we do, even our hobbies, it's unhealthy and it needs to stop. And this is something that I've learned the hard way. It's also something that, like, I'm here to be fully transparent. I've given advice around this before, right? Because as a money coach, I've sat with my clients and I've gone, how can you bring in more money? Well, let's consider, what you like to do for fun and how can we monetize that? And on one hand, I still think that that is a viable way to think about how you can start to make more money, especially if there's a need. But on the other, like I said, it can be unhealthy with kind of this obsession that we have in our culture and our society around needing to turn kind of everything into productive activity, and productivity means it's money making. Now, regardless of the importance that you need to have a life and hobbies outside of work that separate you from your work, that separate your understanding of yourself and your identity from the work that you do, which, believe me, I'm kind of going through my own reckoning right now. I talked about this in a previous episode not too long ago. And it's really difficult when you're an entrepreneur because you're truly building something, 99% of the time from nothing, from the ground up. And it can become very all-encompassing. And then a lot of time, how you spend your free time is working, right? But it's so important to have that separation. And I'm learning this, and I'm also, sharing my experience with you through this. And I hope that this resonates. But regardless of the importance that you need to have that life and have those hobbies that separate you from your work, and the constant feeling to need or want to make money, because I know that can be a really key thing when, especially you're new in your business, turning your passion into a business can also be a big money and time suck from an actual business model perspective. And this is on kind of the other side of this argument. So on one side, I'm saying this argument is don't turn your passion into a business because it's unhealthy for you. It's also unhealthy for the things that you're passionate about, that you want to spend time on, that actually allow you to separate yourself and your identity from being all encompassed into your business. And then I'm also saying it's a bad business decision, because when you Google the word passion, the first definition that comes up is, in quotes, a strong and barely controllable emotion. Think about that. Is that something that you want to build your business on? A strong and barely controllable emotion? Probably not, right? And also when you think about passion, outside of what's interesting is we call things our passion, but passion is really very much more so the feeling that we have about things, right? And passions kind of come and go. And it might not come and go about the thing that you wholeheartedly feel passionate about, but that feeling of passion certainly does come and go. I can stand here and say, I very much enjoy what I do. I actually see, I've thought through the greater good and the greater impact. And I could stand here and go, this is my passion. But the reality is, a lot of times I'm passionate about it, in a way, but this isn't my one true passion, because there's a lot of times when I feel this is work, right? And so this rhetoric of building a business from your passion, turning your passion into a business, and then kind of the rhetoric that comes after that, which is, I love what I do. I don't ever feel like I work a day in my life. I think that can also be unhealthy for business owners who feel like they're working, right? Especially when you're early on in your business and you have to do a lot of that groundwork to build the traction and gain that momentum. But even after that, there's even points after that where maybe you don't have to work as much, or you don't have to do so much of the nitty gritty, but there's still going to be things that are going to make you not, enjoy parts or aspects of that work. I don't want to sound like your dad and tell you that work looks like overalls and muddy boots or whatever that saying is. But I think that from this rhetoric perspective, what we hear constantly in marketing and what a lot of business coaches will show up and say is, all of this very flowery roses and butterflies sort of speech and talk. And that's great because it's compelling and it's desirable and everybody sees that life and lifestyle and wants it, but they're not talking about the reality. And also they're not being realistic or even honest about what it takes to build a business. And that is why I believe that so many people invest in themselves to build a business, but then it's not as easy as everyone makes it out to be. And it really does take a continuous work on yourself, on your mindset, a continuous work on your own self-belief and the value of the thing that you built to bring to this world, a continuous belief that there are people out there who need and want what it is that you're offering, and a continuous belief to just show up, even when no one is listening, no one is watching, no one's reading, no one's commenting, to keep showing up so that you can eventually see those fruits of your labor, right? And I can guarantee you what I just kind of rattled off there's a lot of times where it's not going to feel passionate. It's not going to feel like you're working on your passion, because there's a lot of times where you'll go, oh, this isn't as fun as I thought. Maybe this isn't my passion, or maybe this isn't what I'm meant to be doing, or whatever. And those doubts are purely just because we've, put this blanket advice out there to follow your passion, when in reality, A, that's not healthy for us as entrepreneurs, and B, it might not be a good business decision in any way, right? And you don't have to monetize everything that you enjoy to do. And I think that is the best business advice I can give right now, because so many people are pushing and pushing and pushing to do just that, only to find themselves in that state where now they don't even like their passion anymore, because sometimes business is just business. So that's that. It was a quick one today, but I wanted to welcome you into the new year with some advice that I hope will kind of pull some weight off of your shoulders, and also just advice that's actually honest and that's saying what I think a lot of business coaches need to be saying. Now, here's the deal. I'm not saying that your work doesn't get to be fun. I'm not saying that you need to struggle the whole time, because there are certainly points where what I really think is healthy is to focus on solving fascinating problems. Focus on creating a solution to that fascinating problem, or creating a fascinating solution to just any problem that exists out there. Focus on serving a fascinating market of individuals who you just love to serve, right? You can build a business off of that, and it doesn't have to be, even some of your many passions. It can just be a business. It can be the work that you do to bring money in, and you can enjoy it, and it still doesn't have to be your passion, and that is totally okay. So I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you go out and find something fascinating to build your business on, or find a fascinating solution for your clients, or serve fascinating clients. And until next time, I hope you also wander wealthy.